The S26 Ultra may finally offer a real 10-bit display, according to Samsung. The Galaxy S26 series, which includes the S26 Ultra, will soon be introduced by Samsung. It is frequently predicted that the gadgets will formally arrive on February 25, 2026, bringing with them a number of substantial configuration modifications. According to a recent rumor, the S26 Ultra will contain a complete 10-bit display, which would be a huge shift for Samsung's mobile portfolio. It is speculated that the S26 Ultra will sport a real 10-bit display. The display quality of Samsung's Galaxy phones has constantly been superb. The firm has not yet deployed a true 10-bit screen, which is unexpected considering the competition. The Korean manufacturer employed 8-bit displays with FRC, frame rate control, dithering to approximate better color depth up to the S25 Ultra. Despite its efficacy, it falls short of a meaningful hardware enhancement. It appears that this year Samsung will finally enhance the color of its Galaxy screens. According to the famous source Ice Universe, the S26 Ultra will come with a native 10-bit display. They are 100% convinced of it. The move from 8-bit to 10-bit color depth appears complex on paper. It's straightforward to see in practice. A true 10-bit screen can show roughly 1.07 billion hues, whereas an 8-bit panel may display around 16.7 million colors. Smooth slopes give the biggest practical benefit. There is considerably less banding in the sky, shadows, HDR video, and cinematic stuff. The S26 Ultra may give one of the most complete smartphone display experiences to date when paired with Samsung's recognized advantages in display technology. A true 10-bit display would only elevate the bar, which is already being increased by features like Privacy Screen. The only remaining problem is whether this update will simply be available for the Ultra, or if it will be accessible for the complete S26 family. The strong rivalry between Samsung and Apple has always defined the smartphone industry, but in 2026, the S26 will be poised to challenge the iPhone's grip on high-end customers. Samsung's most recent flagship is redefining what iPhone consumers may expect from their next cell phone, with major increases in camera quality, battery life, and AI capabilities. The 200 megapixels revolution. When buying a smartphone, camera quality is still the most crucial criterion, and the S26 delivers a huge upgrade. With its amazing 200 megapixels main sensor and f/1.7 aperture, the S26 Ultra delivers remarkable low-light performance and detail capture. Compared to the iPhone 17's 48 megapixel system, which is competent but gives much worse quality for cropped images and zoomed photographs, this is a generational gain. In contrast to the iPhone 17's 4x optical zoom, the S26 Ultra boasts a 50 megapixels periscope telephoto lens with a 5x optical zoom. Digital interpolation allows consumers additional compositional and framing options without affecting photo quality. The S26 lineup's 50 megapixels ultra-wide camera completes a versatile triple camera system that is appropriate for practically any shooting setting. Laser autofocus and improved multi-directional phase detection autofocus are two qualities of the S26 that enable exact focus in tough settings where iPhones sometimes stumble. Samsung stands out for its 8K video recording capabilities at 24 to 30 frames per second. Users with the S26 may capture cinematic video ideal for large-screen watching and professional editing, but the iPhone 17 can only shoot 4K at 60 frames per second. This is a definite advantage for multimedia creators comparing the iPhone and Samsung. For a long time, Samsung's secret weapon has been battery life. The basic model of the S26 comes with a 4,300 mAh battery, whereas the S26 Ultra employs stacked battery technology to enhance capacity to 5,000 to 5,500 mAh while preserving the same chassis limits. The S26 easily hits 16+ hours of mixed-use battery life, while the Ultra surpasses 20 hours, according to real-world testing. In Apple's planned environment, the iPhone 17's 4,252 mAh battery works similarly, but it has significantly less endurance than the larger Galaxy variants. Furthermore, Samsung's 45-watt to 60-watt rapid charging greatly reduces down on the amount of time spent connected to a wall outlet. For users who have invested in magnetic accessories, the Galaxy S26's Qi2 wireless charging technology enables greater wireless charging speeds and magnetic alignment. Professionals who emphasize productivity over frills will find this clever combination of battery life optimization and S26 features interesting. Galaxy AI. Useful intelligence. That S26 built-in artificial intelligence integration goes beyond the existing restrictions of Apple Intelligence. For privacy-sensitive tasks, including real-time translation, note summarizing, and photo editing, Galaxy AI delivers on-device processing. With the use of AI, the generative edit feature allows complicated photo manipulation, moving, deleting, or extending components directly on your smartphone without necessitating cloud uploads that endanger privacy. Previously exclusively accessible on Google Pixels, the newly enhanced scam detection capability is now available on S26 devices. This tool safeguards clients from complicated phishing operations by monitoring incoming calls to uncover suspected fraud. Voice, music, wind, nature, crowd, and general noise are the 6 categories of background noise that Audio Eraser automatically removes, enabling users to keep problematic recordings. Live Translate considerably lowers communication constraints by giving real-time phone translation in more than 20 languages. Instead of being new contributions, these AI talents represent AI capabilities that appear incredibly beneficial. Samsung's devotion to making Galaxy AI functionalities freely available within One UI 8 sets this device apart from competitors that require subscription plans for more complex functionality. The S26 series contains Samsung's state-of-the-art M14 OLED screen, which has a peak brightness of 2600 nits and consumes less power than screens from preceding generations. Without losing screen real estate, the breakthrough color filter encapsulation approach thins bezels and minimizes overall device thickness. The 6.3, base, 6.6, plus, and 6.9, ultra display sizes give a real alternative for varying hand sizes and usage patterns. When appropriate viewing angles are discovered, the new Flex Magic Pixel feature leverages AI to dynamically alter viewing angles based on detected user location, boosting brightness perception and lowering battery usage. This is an example of thoughtful engineering that helps everyday living. Scrolling smoothness approaches, and in many instances, exceeds the iPhone 17's ProMotion implementation at 120 Hz refresh rates on all models with variable refresh technology. The iPhone's single app-at-a-time interface design approach is still one of its primary shortcomings. With the Galaxy S26 multi-active window multitasking capability, users may run 3 programs at once in split-screen settings. Professionals who need to continuously monitor emails, change papers, and hold video conferences benefit from unequaled flexibility. When connected to external displays, Samsung Dex transforms the Galaxy S26 into a desktop alternative. The link to Windows functionality duplicates your phone's UI to a desktop display with keyboard and mouse capabilities, integrating nicely with Windows PCs. Professionals with desktop workflows find the iPhone's mobile-only environment operationally unsatisfactory owing to the productivity-focused S26 capability. Unadulterated superior performance. With 35% greater GPU power than its predecessor, the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 CPU can handle demanding gaming and 3D applications with less thermal throttling. The ordinary S26 from Samsung has 12 GB RAM, but the Ultra has 16 GB, which is substantially greater than the iPhone 17's typical 8 GB. Smooth app multitasking and sufficient headroom for on-device Galaxy AI capabilities are made possible by this enormous quantity of RAM. In isolated simulated testing, performance benchmarks indicate minor differences between the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 and Apple's A19 Pro CPU, but in real-world performance, the S26 improved RAM allocation typically wins out. When switching between many applications, customers notice speedier app launches, smoother app transitions, and minimum app refreshing. Customization options are the most evident evidence of the underlying design philosophy that separates Android from iOS. While iOS 26 simply restricts it, One UI 8.5 running Android 16 allows for fine-grained control over interface components. Instead of utilizing Apple's suggested grid format, users may arrange home screens according to their own tastes, swap default programs with preferred ones, and modify icons on their own. Power users may carefully modify interface animations, notification density, status bar style, and lock screen widgets with Good Lock. Users bored of iOS constrictive walled garden will find this freedom enticing. Instead of having set design choices, icon shape, size, transparency, and color become user-adjustable properties. On February 25, 2026, a Galaxy Unpacked event will commemorate the formal release of the S26 Ultra and its siblings, the S26 Plus and S26. After pondering a variety of models, including the S26 Pro and S26 Edge, Samsung has reverted to a familiar lineup with this presentation. Samsung is projected to keep the S26 Ultra's low price at roughly $799, considering the competitive market, particularly in light of the cost of the Apple iPhone 17. In a highly competitive market, preserving this price point is a method to attract clients. On February 26, 2026, the day following the Galaxy Unpacked event, pre-orders for the S26 Ultra will open. Retail sales will commence on March 11, 2026, after this pre-order period finishes on March 4. Samsung has a strategic edge because of this schedule, which allows it to draw users before big competitors like Google and Apple debut their devices. Samsung's ambitions for the Galaxy S26 Ultra will be further unveiled during its quarterly earnings call on January 29, 2026. The event's outcomes can impact the company's future strategy in the continuously changing IT industry. What iPhone users should know before making the switch: there are actual learning curves when transitioning from iOS to Android. When updating to Android, iMessage integration is no longer available, so conventional SMS or third-party services like WhatsApp must be used as a backup. There is no direct Android equivalent for the handoff capability that links iPhones, iPads, and Macs. Before migrating to Samsung, people who have made considerable investments in Apple ecosystem services should carefully examine these trade-offs. So that's all we know for now. We'll be sure to keep you updated as soon as we have more information. Thanks for watching.